Hello, it's 5D back for episode 13 of Deep Feed. This one entitled Radio Gods. I have with me my colleague, legend RJB, otherwise known as Richard Jordan Baker, in the studio. Say hi, Richard.
Hi, Nick. Good to be here.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm very, very well.
And who are we discussing today?
Well, tonight, Nick, we're discussing Radiohead and our Lord, Mr. David Bowie.
Yeah, our Lord and Saviour. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, definitely. Because it's this is why we call it Radio Gods. My favourite band, Radiohead, and your favourite band, David.
David, indeed.
Band, man.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
there's. As far as I'm concerned, there's music of all sorts of types and genres, and separate to all music on a different shelf is David.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, my favourite band may be Radiohead, and I like all sorts of music. And literally, I can, but if David Bowie is our ultimate legend, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Definitely not. So we're going to go back and forth and try and, have a little discuss show like I do on this show, and just generally bring some knowledge and some joy and love of whoever we are playing, right?
Right,
yeah.
Good.
Okay, cool. So you're going to start, right? Let's get straight into it.
That's okay. So we're going to start with... So I've chosen songs that I imagine most people won't really know that very well. So they're not all the hits that are dragged out on the radio every day. It's stuff that's a little bit different. So
that's the way to be when you come. If you're going to be knowledgeable and love someone and know all, you're not going to come with the famous stuff, right?
No. So first up, we're going right back to the beginning. We're going back to June 1967 and a song called When I Live My Dream. So this time David was living in a very dull suburbia, and this is all about really a lost childhood and living with a grim father.
Oh, crikey. Okay, well, I'm going to listen to it on the subject of thinking about that. I have to say, of all the things you chose, because I got all the tracks that you were going to choose, and I don't know. I vaguely know Black's the later on choices. I would say I don't really hardly know any of them, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, here we go. So what is it called again? Sorry?
This is called When I Live My Dream.
When I Live My Dream, David Bowie, and we're going to play that now. Here we go.
When I live my dream, I'll take you with me, riding on a golden horse. We'll live within my castle, with people there to serve you, happy at the sound of your voice. Maybe I'll slay a dragon for you, or banish wicked giants from the land. But you will find that nothing in my dream can hurt you. We will only love each other as forever when I live my dream. When I live my dream, I'll forgive the things you told me, and the empty man you left behind. It's a broken heart that dreams, it's a broken heart you left me. Only love can live in my dream. I'll wish and the thunderclouds will vanish. Wish and the storm will fade away. Wish again and you will stand before me, while the sky will paint an overture and trees will play the rhythm of my dream. When I live my dream, please be there to meet me. Let me be the one to understand. When I live my dream, I'll forget the hurt you gave me. Then we can live in our new land. Till the day my dream cascades around me, I'm content to let you pass me by. till that day. You'll run to many other men, but let them know it's just for now. Tell them that I've got a dream, and tell them you're the starring role. Tell them I'm a dreaming kind of guy, and I'm gonna make my dream. Tell them I will live my dream. Tell them they can laugh at me, but don't forget your date with me. When I live my
Very old school David there. So that was sort of a live version we found out, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and it reminded me of, like, it's very old, and it's around the same era of one of the classic weird tracks that I know of his, The Laughing Gnome, which, if anyone doesn't know that out there, if you want to hear a strange, trippy sort of with him, like, literally with people pretending to be little gnomes, like, where they've pitched up their voice, like all this sort of thing. Yeah, but anyway, I like that. That's definitely, you said it was old school with David, but before he was big, right?
Yeah, this was right in the early days, just starting off.
Yeah, no, I liked it though. It was emotional stuff. Cool. So so I have to admit, you've come with, you know, like, armed to the teeth with like knowledge, more knowledge than I'm going to be able possibly impart about Radiohead. Give me a break, everyone out there listening, especially if any got any Ultra Radiohead fans listening, go, Nick, I'm not doing him justice. I'm going to try my best, and we're going to start with, okay, so the first track is from the first album they did that I'm aware of, called Pablo Honey, off which was, of course, Creep, which everyone knows in the whole entire universe. And apparently, according to Tom, I've heard, Tom York doesn't like it. He didn't really ever like it that much. He's a bit like, it's not his thing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how much that album was his thing, but I thought I wouldn't play that track. Neither of us are going to play the most obvious choices tonight. So I'm going to come with one called Thinking About You, which is surprisingly just like a normal sort of tune, but it's very pretty. Do you know?
Yeah, it's more melodic for them. It's more melodic than you'd imagine from them.
Yeah, it's sort of more like almost a bit like a love sort of song, which, you know, you only get other love songs in Radiohead when it's some sort of, you know, mad sort of type of love song. But anyway, here we go. Thinking About You, playing now.
Been thinking about you, your red curtain here, your eyes on my wall, your teeth are over there, but I'm still no one, and you're not a star. What do you care? Been thinking about you, and there's no rest. Should I still love you, still see you in bed, but I'm playing with myself. What do you care when the other men are far, far better? All the things you got, all the things you need. Who bought you cigarettes, who bribed the company to come and see you, honey? I've been thinking about you, so how can you sleep? These people aren't your friends, they're paid to kiss your feet. They don't know what I know, and why should you care when I'm not there? Thinking about you, and there's no I still love you, still see you in bed, but I'm playing with myself. Why do you care when I'm not there? All the things you got, you'll never need. All the things you got, I plan and I bleed to please you.
So yeah, that was Thinking About You, Radiohead from Pablo Honey.
Yeah, not the sort of Radiohead track that most people even know they've done.
Yeah, it's possibly
because it's very accessible and melodic and romantic and
yeah, because they do like some really like dark. They don't always.
Yeah,
but they are known for some of the most moodiest stuff, and that's probably the least moody track they've ever
but also
made.
it's an awful word, but it's very accessible as opposed to later stuff that a lot of people just fries their brain.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like they've gone up and down over the years in like moodiness, and they will have albums where they'll throw in like some that are moody, really dark, and then some that are just really beautiful and like upbeat and stuff. Never quite upbeat, but like uplifting.
Yeah, some of it's very uplifting. But
if you're into the vibe,
yeah, but it's like Morrissey and the Smiths. A lot of people think it's just incredibly depressing and suicidal, but actually most of it, if you actually understand it, it's deeply joyous.
I agree. I actually like some of the Smiths, and I totally vibe to some of them. What's your next choice going to be then? What is it?
So the next one's called Black Country Rock. So this is moving on. So we're now in 1971, and this was on The Man Who Sold the World, which is pretty much an album about madness.
Oh, right, okay.
It's about schizophrenia. It's about suffering from isolation, and
it's called The Man Who Sold the World is one of my it's an amazing tune.
Yeah, so The Man Who Sold the famously done by Nirvana.
Well, he covered it, didn't he? Before you could see he was depressed, doing it live. It was weird.
It was one of his favourite albums,
but beautiful.
And of course, The Man Who Sold the World, famous for the album cover, banned in America with Bowie lying on a sofa in a dress.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Cool.
So here we go.
Okay, right. So it's run it now.
Pack us up and rest up here on Black Country Rock. You never know, you might find it here on Black Country Rock. Pack us up and rest up here on Black Country Rock. You never know, you might find it here. Black Country Rock. Some say the view is crazy, but you may adopt another point of view. So if it's much too hazy, you can leave my friend and me with point of view. Pack us up and rest up here on Black Country Rock. You never know, you might find it here on Black Country Rock. Pack us up and rest up here on Black Country Rock. Never know, you might find it here on Black Country Rock. Some say you is crazy, but you may adopt another point of view. So if it's much too hazy, you can leave my friend and me with from the
Yeah, nice. I like the production on the guitars, and that one's got a very nice. He's sort of coming around to his sort of.
It's good. We're getting there, aren't we?
Yeah, it's getting into that sort of the guitar sound, you know, that he's famous for.
Well, that's because it's Mick Ronson playing.
Who, as opposed to in the earlier thing, it wasn't.
All sorts of people.
Ronson, I don't actually know the name. Is that his guitarist?
Yeah, so he was the guitarist with the next track on the Ziggy Stardust.
So are the most sort of
so he
seminal
was,
sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, and bless him, he's dead now.
Oh right, okay. Well, yeah, so is David famous to you?
Yeah, and then Mick had did his own stuff as well.
I had never heard of him myself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but he played. But they both play guitar then, because obviously. David plays guitar. He does, but he didn't as
only
much.
only the odd bit of 12-string.
Oh,
not a lot else. 12-string guitar.
Is
a guitar with 12 strings.
More strings than normal.
Yeah, with 12.
Oh, I didn't know. But that's already harder than a 6-string.
Yeah, but he only played it. He would never be classed as a guitarist.
Oh, so he wouldn't be out on stage doing the guitar? No, it's not the thing. Oh,
no,
I didn't know.
But a bit of 12-string.
Okay, well, next up we have from the. I'll choose now. The Bends. From the Bends, and I've chosen Fake Plastic Cheese.
Yay!
Now this is quite a famous track, but to be fair, I'm gonna say why. This was one of the earliest Radiohead tunes I ever heard, and for some reason, to this day, forever, and at the time, the line stuck in my head. What is the line? He used to do surgery for girls in the 80s, but gravity always wins and it wears him out. To this day, I just thought it was the best line I'd heard in like music. I don't know why. It was just, I suppose it was a bit clever, it was a bit deep, and like, this is the track, Fake Plastic Cheese. If you don't know it, check this shit out. Here we go.
The green plastic watering can for a fake Chinese rubber plant and a fake plastic girl. Which you bought from a rubber man in a town full of rubber plants to get rid of itself. It wears around. It wears around. wears me out. It wears me out. And if I could be who you wanted, if I could be who you wanted all the time, all the time.
So I just heard about a thing that I didn't know about from Richard, about Radiohead's famous Soaking Wet Glastonbury gig, which sounded fascinating.
Yeah.
What happened? Like apparently the sound engineering nerds were like, oh, don't know how long we're gonna
I forget the year, but it was so wet. It was just pouring with rain. And they were headlining, and it was just torrential rain, and they did an awesome set. And since having read interviews with some of the techie guys, they had no idea how long that set was going to last, because there was rain in all the electrics, rain in in the amps, just rain everywhere.
It could have been slightly dangerous.
Oh yeah, it could have been dangerous, but
health and safety, it'd just be like, oh my god.
Yeah, or at any point the whole thing could have just gone kaboom.
It would have gone just like all the. Was it on the telly though? Was it on BBC? Like, can you see it? Like,
yeah, I'm sure it's on. You can get it on YouTube.
Because it was recorded by the BBC at the time.
Yeah, and it was
I'll check that out.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah, you got to check it out.
Sounds interesting. Okay, cool. I will have to look into that. So, what is your next choice after we had Fake Plastic Tuesday?
Okay, well, we now get to the stage where Bowie's actually sort of made it, really. So this is Lady Stardust off Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Oh, cool.
72. This is actually he wrote it as a tribute to Mark Bolan.
Because he died on the on the road.
Well, yeah, he died later.
The car crash.
Car crash, yeah.
I used to always drive. He had to go past where his.
Oh, right. Yeah. So he drove into a tree. So this is a lot more upbeat. This is I say off Ziggy, with a lot of people still think is one of the most influential albums of all time. And it's very positive. He's got a new band. Everything's going well. And it's just a lovely song.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll play it now. I don't think I know it again, so I'll look forward to this. Okay, here we go.
The makeup on his face, laughed at his long black hair, his animal grace. The boy in the bright blue jeans jumped up on the stage. Lady Stardust sang songs of darkness and disgrace, and he was all. The band was all together.
And we're back. Yeah, I like that. Nice. I was just asking Richard about what the like an idiot. What are the spiders about? He's like, it's the name of the band. I'm like, oh right, okay. He did actually more kindly explain to me like I wasn't an idiot. But yeah, no, I just never quite realised. But yeah, no, of course it's the Spiders from Mars is the band, not some sort of sci-fi like aliens, which was what for some reason was in my head. But you learn something new every day. Yeah, so moving on, it's my choice again, and I've got from OK Computer. I mean, just what track do you choose from this album, if I'm honest? There's so many amazing ones. I went with the first track, and I don't know why. I was trying to go with all tracks from Radiohead that were the least crazy, like hardcore or sort of depressing ones. I tried to go with the ones that were the most upbeat.
So we're not getting Karma Police then?
No, I love that track, but no, we're going with Airbag, which was originally possibly to be entitled Last Night, and this is my bit of trivia.
And we're not getting
Saved My Life.
We're not getting crazy space scientist doing his bit.
What's that?
In OK Computer, when the guy, what's his name?
When he's in the water with the.
No, at the end of one of the tracks, you get this famous scientist guy whose name escapes me because I've had 2 glasses of rosé.
What the hell are you talking about?
Who says, who talks?
What track is that?
On OK Computer. Yeah. Come on, Nick.
Not the one that goes fitter, happier, more productive.
Yeah.
Oh, in the middle. That's not a fame. Oh, it sounds like Stephen Hawking. It's not actually.
It is Stephen Hawking.
It's not him.
It is.
What are you talking about?
It is.
It's not.
It's Stephen Hawking.
Actually, like doing a guest appearance. No, it's not.
It is.
I'm looking this up. You're winding me up.
I'm not.
Fuck off.
It is. It's Stephen Hawking. Of course it is.
Oh, okay, we're gonna look this up.
Wind up longer.
Yeah, but it's not. No, he is winding me up. Well, I'm gonna double check in the. No, but anyway, yeah, fit, happy, more productive. That's a great.
Yeah.
I did like that intro, that bit in the middle as well. Though. But anyway, this is Airbag, which was called, going to be called Last Night, and Airbag Saved My Life because it was he had a car accident.
Who did?
They named this track after Tom York came from a car accident.
Well, he wasn't in the car with Stephen Hawking.
No, he wasn't. But anyway, well, okay, enough taking the piss.
Less of this nonsense.
This is Airbag, and it's a great track. And then we'll be back with Richard not taking the piss out of me. Alright, in a bit.
Jackknife
Yes, hardcore.
Awesome.
Yeah, great start to a massive album, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
I mean, it goes
just
from
fabulous album, superb
strength
album.
to strength. Yeah, because you were saying that was an album about madness that David Bowie did. Of course, there's the famous track, what's it called? Climbing Up the Walls in that one, which was about schizophrenia as well, which is just one of the most intense rock tunes ever. Like, I mean, I was debating playing it, but then I decided to go with the less intense stuff. So, but yeah, at the end, it's got to hit that like, what's it called, like primal scream, where it sounds like he's just going, ah! But like, it's like, how would you get if you said something like, okay, now Tom, do this into the mic? You couldn't do that. Like, it's weird. It's like, it sounds like, how did you get him to do it? That's always what got me about the track. Anyway, yeah, it's sick. But yeah, so what is up next? What does David Bowie have?
So what's David Bowie up to? Well,
what's he saying now?
It's 1974, and this is the Diamond Dogs album. First real American.
Oh, what's that? Rebels. I know that track on this.
Yeah, Rebel.
Yeah.
So the first time really American influences come in, and really, I mean, stuff that people might know. So from 74 right through to his death, David Bowie had a PA, a very special PA, a lady called Coco Schwab, who was his gatekeeper amongst many other things, and to this day has remained absolutely loyal and silent about the work that she did for him, and in his will he left her a phenomenal amount of money to show his appreciation. Anyway, this is called Rock and Roll With Me, and this is really about when you're a big star, do you really know if people love you for who you are, or do they just love you for what they can get?
That's a deep question for super famous people, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're always
huge
asking
question.
themselves, each other, I guess, and stuff. Yeah, and David Bowie, I mean, who is more huge than him to ask the question? So I'll play that track now. Here we go.
That you, this old us for the likes of you. I always wanted new surroundings, a room to rest while the lizards lay lying in the heat, trying to remember who to meet. I would take a foxy kind of stand, while tens of thousands
What a good outro there. I mean, it was a live thing, but
Yeah,
an
it was
outro live.
yeah, it was a great
outro.
live version, probably from the David Live album that followed the tour in America.
Yeah, you were just telling me about what were you saying about?
Yeah, it was all a bit
It's
chaotic.
interesting.
So this huge American tour, and the whole Diamond Dogs album was another concept album about a sort of whole dystopian grimness with the end of the world. And there's the album starts with him talking about cats eating rats and dogs eating cats and the whole sort of world coming to an end. And he toured, the tour started with this a huge theatrical stage set with skyscrapers and bridges, elevated bridges, and a total theatrical nonsense. And halfway through the tour in the winter in North America, one of the juggernauts that was carrying all this stage set thing crashed in the snow and went into the ditch. So halfway through the tour, it all changed and turned into a whole different tour, which was a really good thing, because he then had so much influence from American and soul music. So the tour changed. It was called the Philly Dogs Tour, and it all changed, and actually was for the better, because he then started picking up all sorts of American stuff that came later, of course, with Young Americans. So it's one of those things where I imagine on the night with the juggernaut in the ditch seemed like a total disaster.
Yeah, no, I was happy.
Actually was a good thing.
In the end, it was a good thing. Yeah, no, it's funny when that happens. Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, cool. Nice to get a bit of story about that I didn't know about that. Cool. So next up, so now we have when Radiohead went. It was called by some people, only some music journalists, the greatest left turn in music history.
Yeah. When
they went from, oh my god, OK Computer, and it was apparently because they were a bit like, he was a bit like, oh my god, we're so huge. This is everyone, oh my god, and it started to mess his head up a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why he was like, I'm not gonna follow it with more of the same. I'm gonna just go completely crazy. Not crazy, minimal electronical stuff. And he did. And yeah, I mean, at first I didn't get it. When I came back to it years later, I loved it. And this is everything in its right place. As Richard, you will have heard a bit of my music. You'll know why, probably when you hear this, why I really love it. And this is everything in its right place. From Kid A. Here we go. we're back. That was everything in its right place. What did you think of the electronical?
I like that. I've heard that one before. I must admit. I must admit that when Kid A and Amnesiac.
Yeah.
I lost the plot a little bit then with them because it all went a bit wacky.
I did the first time round, but then when I came back to it, I was like, oh, I love this because I was.
I think they need another chance. So as we said earlier when we were talking, I'll go back to Hail to the Thief and have another listen.
Yeah, and Hail to the Thief is intense.
Yeah,
it's more like OK Computer than
OK Computer.
Nah.
No.
That's not possible.
Okay, so I was doing, before tonight, I was doing a bit of research because I thought I'd better be a good bunny and come prepared.
Be prepped.
And it's quite interesting. I found two, on the good World Wide Webby thing, I found two interviews, one with Bowie and Rolling Stone magazine, and another one with Radiohead and good old Rolling Stone magazine. And I just thought I'd read very, very quickly. So this is 2003.
Yeah.
David Bowie on Radiohead. Bowie, this year I saw Radiohead at the Beacon Theatre in New York. I had a shrewd suspicion that they were the best band around. And the gig convinced me they were. And then later, 2008, when good old Tom's being interviewed, he says In Rainbows is a conscious return to a form of 45-minute statement. Of course it was possible to make it shorter, but our aim was to describe in 45 minutes as coherently and conclusively as possible what moves us. In Rainbows is, at least in our opinion, our classic album. It's our transformer, our revolver, our hunky-dory.
Oh, so those are famous.
So that's so Transformer, famously Lou Reed's most famous album.
Oh, of course, yeah,
written and produced by our Lord, Mr. Bowie. Revolver, by many considered to be the Beatles' greatest album.
I don't really know that.
And Hunky Dory, again a huge Bowie album that featured Life on Mars.
When was that? When was Hunky Dory? What years?
Hunky Dory's back to 70.
Oh, so it's
3.
Is it before the Spiders from Mars after?
Yeah, before Ziggy.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there we are. The just
a little
interesting
bit of commentary. Interesting stuff. Yeah, because I actually had when I did the last podcast on David Bowie, I found this little. Oh, who was it? Oh, crikey. It was Iggy Pop chatting about him on the YouTube, and I just sort of stuck that in and stuff. It's fascinating. Yeah, no, it's nice to hear like artists appreciating other artists, like famous, the big ones and stuff, getting their influences from each other and stuff like that.
Yeah. So next up,
it's your choice.
So next up is a long one. So we require your patience.
Yeah.
This is called Station to Station, which is one of my favourites. So Bowie'd moved on from Ziggy and now had another alter ego, the Thin White Duke. This is 1976. This is an album fueled by cocaine. So Bowie at the height of his substance abuse and shifting far too much than was good for him. An interesting time, huge American and European tour, probably one of the biggest tours he'd ever done. So 6 nights sold out at Wembley Arena. Interestingly, the year he met David Hockney, another
artist.
Yeah, the artist.
What's that?
David Hockney's my favourite living artist. And then a little bit of trivia. In the same year, he filmed The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Which I'm not a massive fan of.
Nick's not a fan of The Man Who Fell to Earth.
I was like, I didn't really. I liked it at first, and I was a bit like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's a bit trippy. Directed by the great Nicholas Roeg. And there we are. So the trilby that he wore in the hat, here's a bit of trivia. So the trilby hat that Bowie wore in the film, famously photographed with him being worn by Elizabeth Taylor, who became a great friend of his that year. But that trilby he actually gave to Moby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, our good, lovely Mr. Moby.
So much stuff going on between these great artists.
So there's so much going on. Yeah. So for a while, Moby lived very close to Bowie in New York, and they got together one evening to discuss music and life in general. And at the end of the evening, Bowie gave him this trilby.
Nice.
So there you go.
That's
but
cool.
this is station to station. It's quite long. Starts off with a train.
Okay.
Great track.
I'm looking forward to hearing this. Richard, you're coming with the most. I think you should get possibly a reward for possibly coming with the most amount of knowledge ever for anyone on this podcast. Right, here we go. It's station to station, and we'll be back in a bit.
lover's eyes.
So that was Station to Station, long, epic, sort of structurally interesting. Yeah, it's I was a lot. Oh, excuse me. A lot more like my sort of track that actually you were saying, and it wasn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because it was more. Yeah, because it was just a bit more of a story, a bit more all over the place, a bit more trippier. But now I'm gonna come with for a track from Amnesiac. So that'll be the second sort of more electronical trippy album, and this is called Like Spinning Plates. Now the reason I like this track is because the whole. I've always got my little thing I think about this that I don't know if it's true, but I like to think of it like that. Is that a lot of the lyrics is like, it's like spinning plates, you know, and it in my head it's like it's his sort of way of critiquing like how he feels at that time about trying to keep going tunes and like keep everyone happy and still make money and make good music. It's like he's trying to like spin the plates to keep it all going, you know. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But shall I play it now and you can see what you think? Here we go. Yeah?
Yeah, play it.
Like Spinning Plates from Amnesiac. Yeah, I love that one. That is possibly my favourite electronical sort of track they did. That but it's just kind of reverse.
Yeah, I need to do more work
about what?
About Radiohead.
No, I get it.
Yeah, more work needed.
So what is your next choice, Richard?
So this is unusually for Mr. Bowie. This is a sort of a romantic. This is called "Be My Wife." We're in 1977. This comes from one of they were called the Berlin trilogy of albums, but actually, it's always been nonsense because Low was recorded in France.
Oh, that's got you gave me that for Christmas.
Well, I did.
I love that track. I got into the one that's something in his blue room.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the track called? You know what I mean, though.
I know what you mean.
I love that one.
So Low was first. It was actually recorded in France.
Sound and Vision. Go on.
Yeah.
That's the track.
Heroes was recorded in.
That's like my favourite track ever.
In Berlin.
Yeah.
And Lodger, probably the least known of all the Bowie albums, was actually recorded in Switzerland. So to call it the Berlin trilogy is
wrong.
It is wrong. Hence, I call it the European trilogy because it makes more sense. So this is "Be My Wife." This comes from Low. Many purists see Low as Bowie's finest album. And what's it all about? It's all about that fame and fortune isn't everything, and there's more to life. At this point, he got very tired of touring and wanted to travel less. And find, like all of us, lasting love, which in later life he did. So this is called "Be My Wife" from the glorious 1977 album Low.
Okay, I'll run that now. "Be My Wife," David Bowie from Low. Here we go.
Sometimes you get so lonely. Sometimes you get nowhere. I've lived all over the world. I've left every place. So lonely. Sometimes you get nowhere. I've lived all over the world. I've left every place. So lonely.
And we're back. Excuse me. So yeah, that was "Be My Wife." I like that. It's definitely a kind of upbeat one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, moving to Hail to the Thief, because I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I'm doing one from every single one of Radiohead's albums, which of course you couldn't do with David Bowie, or we'd be here.
No, we got 26 albums. So,
yeah, exactly. We would have been.
And that's without the compilations and live albums and all the other nonsense that appears to have arrived in my collection.
You need to move the mic a bit more. But
there we go.
Sorry, Richard just let his mic slip there.
Such an amateur.
Right. So we have now got Hail to the Thief, track called Backdrifts, which is I think this one is a bit more like the electronicalness, as I recall. It's not, but there's a lot of rock and guitars on Hail to the Thief as well, sometimes mixed, but there are the occasional just sort of more electronical tracks, and this is one of them, Backdrifts. I'm going to run it now. Here we go. We're back. I just had to let the chippiness at the end there play out. We were just discussing drum machines, weren't you?
Drum machines, talking drum machines.
And I said some drum machine playing is I mean, if they're not programmed correctly, or they're just completely standard original sound without a bit of effects or distortion or whatever, they can be or programmed well enough with like syncopation, the articulations, the swing and stuff. It can be very boring.
Yeah, I suppose being a tiny bit older than Nick, not a lot obviously. I remember when drum machines almost first came in, and when you think of, I don't know, Tainted Love, Soft Cell, early Depeche Mode, Erasure, really, really good songs with drum machines and drum machines in their infancy. And I can't denigrate drum machines because of people like Kraftwerk.
Well, yeah.
So
the daddies of using those sort of things.
Kraftwerk were again, in terms of what's called kraut rock. Great band, and their album Autobahn, which goes down as one of the finest albums of all time, all done with drum machines. So they're not the work of the devil.
No, not like some people think they are.
No.
Totally. So that was Backdrift. You were like, you were particularly maybe looking forward to checking out Hail to the Thief now specifically more because you said we mentioned this already, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. So moving on, what are you going to choose next?
So moving on, well, here we are. We've arrived in 1980.
The time travel element.
The time travel. We've done our European trilogy. We've had a bit of time off. And now, in this country, we had this thing called the New Romantics. Had just arrived. And of course, Bowie being ahead of the game as ever, became the sort of doyen of the New Romantics. And in 1980,
what's doyen mean?
Doyen means the leader, the master. Yeah, the leader. I should know this. The leader, the master, the leading light.
Okay.
And the New Romantics. So we'd got, all of a sudden we'd got Spandau Ballet, we'd got Duran Duran, we'd got all these New Romantics. And there, you listen to interviews now, and who was their great influence? The great man. And lots of stories of New Romantic nightclubs like the Beetroot in Birmingham and various places. Anyway, so in 1980 our Lord created Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Great album that included all the songs like Ashes to Ashes and Fashion. However, the album opens with
great tracks.
With a track called It's No Game, and ends with the reprise of that song It's No Game Part 2, which most people won't know. And there's great Japanese talking in this by his great Japanese friend and actress Michi Harita.
Okay.
And this song, it basically tells us that life is grim,
right,
and lots of shit happens. But most of it, as we know now with this, with the Ukrainian crisis, there's lots of really grim stuff in the world, but there's actually very little that most of us can do about it.
Well, that's a very good point.
And this is called It's No Game.
Okay, well, I'll run that now. And very philosophical and very true. Definitely. I'll run it now. Here we go. It's No Game, Part 2.
Silhouettes and shadows, watch the revolution. No more free steps to heaven. Just walkie-talkie, heaven or hearth. Just big heads and drums, full speed and pagan. And it's no game. from the event. I really don't understand the situation. So where's the moral? People have their fingers broken. To be insulted by these fascists is so degrading. And it's no game. Documenters on refugees, couples against the target. Throw a rock against the road and it breaks into pieces. Draw the blinds on yesterday and it's all so much scarier. Put a bullet in my brain and it makes all the papers. And it's no children round the world put camel shit on the walls. They're making carpets and treadmills or garbage sorting. And it's no game.
We're back. Yeah, good track.
Yeah, good track, and the Japanese element in the first song on side one, rather than that bit. My mistake.
Alright,
yeah. Just a little bit different, and probably not known to most.
Yeah, no, is it because many people wouldn't reach the end of that album?
Well, not only that, by the time we got to Scary Monsters, we got to the time when people were still buying singles. And not everybody bought the album, so lots of people know Ashes to Ashes in Fashion, but might not.
But don't know the whole what it's from. Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah, because that did happen. Okay, so now my turn, and we come to From In Rainbows, which was pretty amazing album. They did that crazy thing with that. Did you hear about that, Richard? Where it was the first thing ever where they were like, yeah, well, you can just download this for free. Give us as much money as you want. They made so much money.
Yeah, I mean, it was revolutionary. It was revolutionary. It was a real milestone. A watershed moment.
Yeah, some people are complaining about that. I think it's like
it's fine. Yeah. So what? I mean, good for them. I don't know. I always wondered how many people pressed 1 penny and how many people pressed $14.99.
Well, I think I wonder how many people who were really extra rich thought, oh, just give them 200 quid or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. They must have made like a lot of money. I don't know what the average how many were downloaded
per album. I don't know.
I think I gave them 5 quid for it or something. I mean, I didn't have to.
old git.
I didn't have much money.
£5.
I didn't have much.
£5. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Look,
Do you know how much money that album cost to make? I think what's interesting though, without continuing to take the piss, is that I think that is ethically far more sound than a great band U2, who I've loved forever.
Oh, I'm not a fan. Go on.
Of course, so they did the opposite. So they did the opposite. So what U2 did, for all of you who remember, is they did a deal whereby their album just appeared on everybody's.
What, and stole them?
Everybody's.
What, computer?
Yeah.
What, and stole their money too?
No, they took no money.
That's the opposite.
No, they took no money.
And insisted on 50 quid for it.
No, they took no money. But on your
They forced it onto your iPhone.
They forced it onto your Apple system.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That just shows that's a mentality.
And it caused such a stink because a lot of people said, "I don't want your album on my iPod."
I wouldn't.
But it just appeared, and so there we are.
Oh wait, it wasn't even people who were just fans of theirs. It was every single person. Oh my god!
Every single person, and it just appeared for nothing.
What? And robbed you 50.
No, they took no money. So it's the modern world, it's the modern horrible world, and if it was down to me, there would only be vinyl, and that was it.
Vinyl is lovely. You won't get me arguing about vinyl not being lovely, but expensive. Anyway, right, but no, it's not even that expensive now. It's just
no,
the decks I always had the 1210s. It's 600 quid.
It is. It's still. I mean, albums are still.
Also, it's lugging it about. I mean, I used to get fit back in the late 2000s.
Yeah, but when you grow up, you don't carry it about. You actually have it in your home, Nick.
No, but you're trying to DJ, man. Or if you're good enough, you have someone carry it.
Of course you do.
Carries it
for
lucky.
You have a small child. Labour carrying your vinyl.
No, you have to have a chunky
chunky dude.
Like bouncer type.
Bouncer dude.
Yeah, it's heavy shit. Anyway, right. So let's move on swiftly onwards. This is All I Need, which is beautiful. This is stunning. It's actually one of my favourite Radiohead tunes ever. It's basically like a love song. It's really kind of uplifting. It's like very different to a lot of stuff. Actually, some of the very later stuff in the later years became a bit like that. I find, but I think actually the next two tracks I've got are quite beautiful and in that sort of way that I feel is lovely. Anyway, this is All I Need. Radiohead from In Rainbows playing now. So that was all I need. Yeah, what do you think of that one? No, it's
Yeah,
nice.
I like that. It's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's quite uplifting. It's just great. It's the melodies, everything to do with it. So what are you bringing? We're getting near the end. What are you bringing in from the 80s? Is it or?
Well, when we make a bit of a leap.
Time machine.
We take a bit of a leap from 1980. A big leap. We go to 2003.
Oh right, okay, fair.
And bizarrely, I've chosen a track from the Reality album, and it's the only track that not actually written by the great man, but written by a guy called Jonathan Rickman for a band called the Modern Lovers, and this was.
Oh, so this is not David Bowie.
Well, this is.
Well, he wrote it. But
Yeah, he wrote it, and this is his version. But he actually wrote it.
Oh, I see.
Wrote it back in 1972 for a band called the Modern Lovers. It's and was produced by John Cale from the Velvet Underground, who everybody will know. And this is a song about Picasso, the great artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pablo Picasso.
You played me this the other day.
Yeah, and this is Picasso was somewhat of a Lothario.
Well, yeah, I've been learning this.
Yeah, he was a bit of a boy, Nick.
Because you played me this the other day, and I'll be honest, straight up, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that's an interesting intro, like, oh, it's kind of cool, it's a bit different, but I didn't really feel it that much. But then I put it on, I end up adding it to my playlist, and it's growing on me.
Yeah,
I really like
great.
it.
It's great version. And for me, it's one of the reasons why it's important. So the Reality tour was the last tour the great man did. So this was 112 gigs worldwide, and I was a very lucky boy. So I saw him on that tour in Wembley Arena on the 26th of November 2003, and was my all-time best Bowie moment because I was 18 rows from the front at Wembley Arena.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Which was just awesome. And if any of you have seen the film of there's a film, a DVD you can buy of the gig that was filmed in Dublin at the Point in Dublin, and it was just awesome. It was the man utterly at last happy in his own skin, which, as we all know, those of us that know a little bit about mental health, you know, he was finally happy in his own skin, very, very, very happily married, and just an awesome tour and an awesome gig. And this is Pablo Picasso.
Classic, yeah, I'm going to like it. Pablo Picasso was never called an asshole, not in New York. Yeah, I like this tune. Check it out, here we go, Pablo Picasso. Brilliant stuff. Pablo Picasso. Do 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 do. I also like that kind of synthy 80s synth. Do 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 do. It's a bit 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
It's a nice little synth as well.
And it's great. I mean, just when he did it live, it's just awesome.
Oh yeah, no, I bet that must have been quite spectacular. Right, so we're getting near the end now. This is the King of Limbs, from the King of Limbs, a track called Codex, which is it's a beautiful tune. This is my least most familiar with. Actually, I was going to say album of maybe Radiohead of all, but I love this tune. I was going to say actually I think the very last one is actually my least familiar with. A Moon-Shaped Pool, their very very latest one. Although I've found 2 tracks off that lately that I've just found incredible. I've just discovered recently that I hadn't really gone to it but much. And you know when you rediscover something, you're like, I didn't know. But anyway, we'll come back to that in a sec. This is Codex. I'll just let it run now, and then we'll be back for Richard's penultimate choice. Yeah, we will be. Right, Codex from the King of Limbs. So yeah, that was the piano, soft dulcet
Indeed, soft
tones
dulcet.
of,
No, it's good.
You know, harmonies and his voice soothing us.
He does have an amazingly soothing voice.
It's quite unique. Some people don't like it, and not that many people don't like it.
No, there are very few people that don't like it. A lot of people didn't cope with the you know, the trippy stuff.
Yeah. Well, I can understand.
Yeah.
Right, so your penultimate.
Ooh.
Is it your penultimate? Yeah, is it penultimate?
It is
Yeah,
penultimate. It's penultimate because Nick only let me have 10 songs. So when Nick first asked me to do this, I had about 30. And then Nick said, no, you can only have 10. So
I didn't know. I think I said not that many, and then you came back with like another like 16.
I think I came back with 16.
But then I was like, I've done one from each album, and you were like, but if I did that, it would be 26.
So it has been extraordinarily difficult,
taxing to whittle
very
down.
taxing to whittle.
Well, to be fair, I struggled just the same, choosing one from each album.
Yeah, but
I could play.
Yeah, but they've only done about 6 albums.
But I mean, this would be a 6-hour podcast
amateurs.
if we both played. This would be a 10-hour podcast if you played 26,
no,
30 tracks.
I know, but it's been very difficult to get to 10. And I do realise that this is Nick's longest podcast. So welcome to day 3 of our recording.
Yeah.
And I hope you're all still awake.
12 bottles of wine later.
12 bottles of claret later.
Still managing to talk.
No, we've had very little to drink at all. Actually, it's been a very it's been a very Methodist evening. Anyway, here we are, penultimate track.
Yeah.
In 2013, a lot of people woke up to the radio that day, to the news on all the stations that mattered, that Mr. Bowie had released an album on the internet that day with no pre-advertising, no hullabaloo, simply sent out press releases saying there's a new album, it's on the internet, if you want to listen to it, then fine. And it was called The Next Day, and it had been a very long time since we'd had anything. A lot of people thought that we weren't ever going to get anything because it had been such a long time.
Yeah.
And on that day, there was a single called The Next Day that a lot of people will have heard, but there was also a track called Valentine's Day. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's going to be about Valentine's Day. It's going to be a romantic song about Valentine's, but it's not. It's actually about the horrific and continuing story of American gun massacre.
Oh, crikey.
And how often do we hear that some, poor soul in America has got a gun and done things that are not good. So this is about decrying the US gun law. It's not about Valentine's Day at all. Interestingly, it was actually the last physical 7-inch single that Bowie produced. And comes from the penultimate album. So it's my penultimate song from his penultimate album.
Well, that's a bit of synchronicity right there.
It's a bit of synchronicity, and this is Valentine's Day.
Okay, here we go. The track.
Valentine told me who's to go.
stumbling through the mall. It's in his tiny face, it's in his scrawny hand. Valentine knows it all, he's got something to say. It's Valentine's Day. Valentine, Valentine. Valentine, Valentine. It's in his scrawny hand, it's in his icy heart. It's happening today. Valentine, Valentine. It's in his scrawny hand, it's in his icy heart. It's happening today. Valentine, Valentine.
Yeah, that was good actually. Good track.
Good track, and just another little moment when the great man died in 2016. That day in the evening, Claire, my wonderful partner, and I had dinner, and then we sat and she knew, this was a big day, and she said, "Why don't you just play one track and to celebrate the man?" And Valentine's Day, that was the track that I picked, and so we put Valentine's Day on, and on it went. And we had a dance, and I cried like a baby.
Why did you choose that track?
I don't know, because there are so many. It's just the one that came to mind. There were hundreds of tracks, and we danced. And
Where was this?
Where? This was at Bowman's Farm.
Oh, at your house?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said you were out. I was
and we played the track, and remembered the great man, and it was a great evening and a very sad evening at the same time, because
a lot of people, like, I know a lot of people, get very, were very upset about that. Because he was just loved for so many reasons.
There's so many reasons by so many people.
Yeah, no, I was in Brixton, I think, and there was just so many flowers. It was just outpouring.
And lots of places in London that were important, and places, Trident Studios, where he did lots of recordings. The house in Brixton, and that night, there were people all over London at all sorts of addresses with flowers and candles and all the usual stuff. But I mean, similar to John Lennon and Elvis, really.
No, he touched a lot of people.
And also touched the people. I think compared to the other two, he touched a lot of people who felt that they were on their own and isolated.
For example, gay rights and stuff back in the days. He did a lot for
all sorts of people who were not central. Who were a little bit left and a little bit right and a little bit here and a little bit there, and he let everybody know that really whatever you like, you're okay, and it's okay not to be normal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have. We'll be back in a sec. I'm going to play now my last track, which I just recently rediscovered. I recently discovered again basically, because when you don't, I didn't check out every single album. Oh, okay, too much beeping. Hold on one sec, my phone's going beep 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 beep. 1 second, I turned it back on for a second and it's gone beep beep. This is from A Moon-Shaped Pool, one album which I wasn't massively familiar with, and then I basically was just literally the other day found this track, and I adore it now. So that's why it's gonna be my last choice, because it is from their last album, and we'll play that, and then we'll be back to
the very last track that we'll play at all. So anyway, here we go. It's the Numbers, Radiohead.
Just like a phantom, the touch is like a breeze, shares this understanding. See the moon smiling. Open our channel, ready to receive. 'Cause we're not out.
Yes. So we are back.
We're back.
To the last bit of chat from us tonight.
The last bit of chat.
Last bit of chat. The last bit of chat has been an emotional and a long one, and it's been info laden and
Info laden. Info laden. It has. It's been no. Nick, I just thank you.
No, thanks as well.
It's been a real privilege, and I'm very grateful. And thank you for inviting me.
Oh, that's cool.
I've
learned a lot.
Lots of great people have come before me.
Yeah.
The great Nat and the great Jerry, and so I'm very grateful. As I said earlier, it's a bit like being on Desert Island Discs. Here we are. This is track number 10. So in 2016, the great man died, and he left us with Black Star, which is just an album, a whole masterpiece. His final work, and on Black Star, the album, the track Black Star, a 10-minute masterpiece.
Deep. It's quite epic, isn't
it's
it?
very dark. It's very deep. It's very. It's.
There's a video for it as well. It's very.
Yeah.
I've seen some of.
It is, and like the previous album, the Next Day, it is one of the great messages from both albums that were both recorded and released, including all the artwork. And all the recording in total secrecy, and proves that if you want to do something mysterious and secret and private, you can. And this, I think, was a great message there were lots of messages that came out of his last album. One of them was that actually social media doesn't rule the world.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to do something secret and private, you still can. You just have to not tell anybody. You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, right.
And like the Next Day and like Black Star, this all appeared to us all and was given to us. There was no social media, and just done quietly and discreetly, and then given to us all. And so the last album came out around the same time as his death and his birthday. And Black Star, after his death, there was, as part of the proms at the Albert Hall, there was a BOWIE prom. And I was lucky enough to get a ticket and go to the BOWIE prom. And lots of all BOWIE music done by all sorts of people, a very eclectic mix of people. The Divine Comedy, Mark Armand, all sorts of people. But for me, that evening at the Albert Hall, I discovered Anna Calvi. And for all of you out there, you must find Anna Calvi, because she is the most beautiful and talented artist, a guitarist, a singer, with albums of her own. And she did with the soloist from a band called the Dresden Girls. They did Black Star that night and did it proud. And when you listen to Black Star, which is quite long, but after a few minutes, you will, I'm sure, notice it starts off in a very minor key, as minor keys get, and then a few minutes in turns into a major key, and it's like going from winter into spring, and incredibly uplifting. It's not for everybody, and the album certainly isn't the most accessible album, because there's lots of tracks that are in very difficult keys and very difficult time signatures. But Black Star, the whole album is a lot of people thought that Low was the greatest album, but Black Star is up there. And I think we're going to play out to this. And so enjoy this, and thank you for listening.
Well, it leaves me to say thank you, Richard, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. And we'll play it now, Black Star, and RIP to David Bowie.
In the villa of our men, in the villa of our men, stands a solitary candle. In the center of it all, in the center of it all, your Something happened on the day he died. Spirit rose a meter and stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried, I'm a black star, I'm a black star. How many times does an angel fall? How many people lie instead of talking tall? He trod on sacred ground, he cried loud into the crowd, I'm a black star, I'm a black star, I'm not a gangster. I can't answer why, just go with me. I'ma take you home, take your passport and shoes and your sedatives and booze. You're the flash in the pan, I'm the great I am. I'm a black star, way off my money, I've got game. I see right so wide, so open heart, it's plain. I want eagles in my daydreams, diamonds in my eyes. I'm a black star, I'm a black star. Something happened on the day he died. Spirit rose a meter, then stepped aside. Somebody else took his place